I'm here with William Brown, founder and producer of the Republic of Texas TV YouTube channel. How are you doing today, William?
Fair to middling.
Great, my friend. Thanks for being here with me. William's a great YouTube producer. I've been very impressed with his channel and his work, I must say. And one thing I really admire about William is while, you know, your standard so-called libertarians went with Gary Johnson in 2012, William did a video called Why I Will Not Vote for Gary Johnson. I think he explained it really well, so I appreciate that. And I know he's not a bootlicker of any stripe. So.
You're one of the 50% that like it.
So tell me what's up, William. What's Republic of Texas TV all about?
Well, when I first put it together, it was going to be kind of like just a Ron Paul thing. I was involved in the Ron Paul campaign. And then, I guess by virtue of that, then I got involved in other campaigns with the Republican Liberty Caucus.
If you could speak a little louder, please.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we got some wind.
Let me start from the beginning? Or
no, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
And I kind of got like unofficially affiliated with the Republican Liberty Caucus. I affiliate myself with them. I don't think I've always been too welcome, but generally, yeah. I like most of their candidates.
So how'd you get into all this? You're obviously a supporter of Ron Paul, as witnessed by your fabulous t-shirt here. And just how'd you get into Ron Paul and liberty ideas and this kind of philosophy of what government should be and how people should be allowed to exercise their freedom in this country?
For me, it started back in the 80s when I was in the penitentiary. And I got involved with some groups that I'd rather not name because the RICO Act is a motherfucker. But so I've always kind of been on the outside of it, especially like more the tax protest thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
When I got out, I don't know, just I thought we really caught a break getting somebody besides finally getting rid of Clinton. And then what we got in return for him was not any better. Sad to say, on the same side of the aisle that I sit. And I really pretty much given up on the whole thing. And then, in 2007, I first got on YouTube, going to see just the funny videos like everybody else. And I wanted to leave comments, so I had to create an account to leave comments. So then, the 2008 election really got underway back in 2007 with the debates and everything, and I found out that YouTube was kind of like, because it was new, it was like the front lines of politics, So I really didn't have a preference, as for candidates, and I kept on hearing people telling me, you got to check out this guy, Ron Paul. Check him out. And I'm like, well, after 8 years of this Republican, why the fuck would anybody in their right mind vote for another Republican? And but the name had kind of sounded familiar. And then when somebody told me that he ran for president in '88 as a libertarian, that's when I remembered who he was. I went and checked him out, and I was like, oh yeah, he's back in high gear, So I got involved with it back then, and more so this time around. As soon as he announced last year that he was going to be running again, got with the Austin group here. I don't know, Republic of Texas TV, it kind of started out as a Ron Paul thing, and it's branched out to be more of a liberty thing, because he inspired a couple of people to run back in '08, but this time around it's been a lot different. I guess because all the crazy shit that he said came true.
Well, that's interesting. I really admire you for being a Ron Paul supporter. I wanted to ask, just to follow up on something you said earlier, what do you mean by when you say they were on a different side of the political aisle, or you're on one side of the political aisle? What do you mean by that?
I've always been a Republican. And, used to be back in the day, the Republican primary was always a real freak show almost. I mean, you always had. It wasn't just a Ron Paul up there. It was
Pat
always
Robertson, you know, Ross
like Alan
Perot
Keyes,
types.
Ross Perot. I mean, man, you name it. And there's a couple others. That
Steve Forbes.
Yeah, I can't remember all. Yeah, him. Yeah, Steve Forbes. And so it was always great, you know. It's like they went away for 8 years during the Clinton administration, and when the Republican Party came back, they're this slick, glossy, blow-dried Madison Avenue creation, you know.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And then there's crazy old Uncle Ron. You know, just get up on TV, say something real, and piss everybody off. Hey, you know, I kind of like the contrary aspect of it. Being against the whole world and being right, you know?
What do you mean by against the whole world?
Try not to, you know, well, that means...
Against do-gooderism syndrome, as I like to say. And Ronnie likes to say the do-gooderism syndrome, because we all know underneath every special deal or special project or special program lurks an organized crime thug.
Well, you know, it's my whole philosophy on government basically is the smaller the better, because you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. And that's basically government. You're laying down with dogs. So you better have a small dog, fewer fleas.
So what is, back to your channel, what is Republic of Texas TV doing to change that current situation we're dealing with the fleas?
I use it to promote other candidates too. Ted Cruz, Wes Riddle, Eddie Traylor, Rob Rourke. Tried to get their names out. Laura Presley, here on the local level, yourself. And there's like I guess it's kind of more of a switching from so much a Ron Paul thing. I tried to go just the all-inclusive anti-establishment thing, but there's a lot of anti-establishment types. You know, they're on one side of the aisle and I'm on the other. I don't like the slick corporate Republican Party of today. I want the one, you know, the crazies from the 80s to come back.
The Barry Goldwaters to come
know.
out. People that actually built businesses, built something for their community, actually did something. We're artistic people. We're, you know, the intellectual conservatives, so to speak, as far as government, conservative only as far as government policy goes, but actually liberal and allowing people to have as many freedoms as they
the non-Ivy League candidate would be nice. It seems like the Ivy League is the common denominator for Republicans and Democrats, where they go through like their little cookie cutter representatives of Keynesian economics and a failed subjective worldview, you know, but that's what passes for intelligence and education nowadays. And still, the Ivy League stamp is revered. I don't know why.
Well, it's like, how do we get all these corporate interests out of, grasp control from them, take back our society, our culture, and our government, most importantly?
Well, I mean, it's a lot easier than people would think, is you get involved on the local level for starters. Because, I mean, it's no secret that the political system is pyramidal in nature, and we're the foundation of it. So if you get involved on the local level, on the grassroots, like we're doing here with the Travis County Republican Party, the Round Rock Republican, Williamson County Republican Party, and we have this, from the Ron Paul perspective, it's what he said all along, is take control of your precincts and your counties.
Yes, sir.
And build it up from there, you know. The Republican Party had a big setback this year in the election. I feel like they did. They lost some Senate seats. They lost some key House seats. But the Liberty Movement gained.
Yes, sir.
You know,
sure did.
So,
and speaking of that movement, you recently went with me to a local governmental body, the Travis County Commissioners Court. What'd you think of that meeting? And what'd you think of their setup there at Travis County building at 700 Lavaca Street in downtown Austin, Texas?
Well, you know, you don't have to give the street directions because from here, you just walk south till you smell it, turn right till you step in it. That's pretty much my opinion of it. It's like, oh, I know a crook when I see one.
Yep. So what do you mean by that?
Sensation, you know?
For the viewers that may not know what happened, what do you mean by that? You smell a crook when you see one.
I mean, I don't know the details of it. I know our court commissioner, the guy in the middle, the judge.
County Judge Bisco.
Yeah, he was taken over and wined and dined by communist China, which, you know, I guess they got to do business like everybody else, but then, you know, it's fucking communist China. You know, you might want a little bit of transparency on that. I know he was specifically asked how much that junket cost the taxpayers of Travis County, and he said it didn't cost him a penny. So I thought that was rather telling. Okay, so the Chi-Coms paid for it. And you know, we were talking outside the court. I said, right. Now the only question I have is, did Mrs. Judge go along too, or did she stay back at the house? You know, while he went and had a happy ending. Maybe they had them little Chinese women walking on his back and shit for him. I don't know. So I would have rather have footed that bill than have the Chi-Coms pay for it.
So you know a lot of philosophy. I know you're a big fan of Ayn Rand from watching some of your videos. You're a very well-read, intellectual gentleman. Who are some of your some of your intellectual heroes? Can I ask?
Snitching me off. John Locke for starters, and the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. I got a beat-up copy that's all highlighted. It's a good one. I've got the Ayn Rand library. Been checking out some Murray Rothbard. I kind of like him a lot.
What do you think of
I actually
Hayek?
Friedrich Hayek? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, he's badass. I read some of his stuff back in 2008 when I was first getting into Ron
Frederick
Paul.
Bastiat. Have you heard of Frederick Bastiat?
Bastiat?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kafka wrote the trial. Okay, Bastiat, he...
I love Kafka, too. I used to live over there.
Yeah, I have read some of his, and I can't place it right off the top of my head because I'm under the influence.
No. It's okay. No judging here. Well, you've got a beautiful home, great wind chimes and everything else. We're over here in East Austin with William Brown, Republic of Texas TV. We got some shoes hanging in typical spring fashion, even though it's a second spring here in Texas with the fall and some respects, but I love it.
You know, you live in a Mexican neighborhood and you see shoes hanging off shit.
No, I think it's cool. But I like it.
I love my neighborhood,
awesome.
man.
It's a great neighborhood. Very beautiful.
I tell you, that's one big problem I have with the Republican Party. That is kind of segued to it. Is their the attitude towards Mexicans, man.
Oh, it's messed up, dude.
I'm one of the few I'm the only one on this street that's white, and I'm one of the few that's actually an American citizen.
Wow.
And like I pirated a lot of movies, so I started downloading movies in Spanish too, and I burned them for a couple of friends of my old lady.
Cool.
My old lady's Mexican, she's Mexican American. She's got these two friends of hers from Mexico, and I eat Mexican home cooking damn near every day.
That sounds awesome, dude. I love Mexican and Tex-Mex. Anyhow, speaking more on topic here about what you're doing with Republic of Texas TV, one video I loved, I have to say, is why I will not support Gary Johnson. I actually was, you know, kind of cold on Gary Johnson, was hot on Ron Paul, cold on Gary Johnson, whatever. I didn't know why he was running against Ron Paul in the first place as Republican, but anyhow. Basically, I had 2 Gary Johnson signs in my yard because I was like, yeah, I'm not voting for Obama, I'm not voting for Romney, and I want people to know they have other choices. And then, like, the day before the election, I was feeling really cold on Gary Johnson because I watched an interview I did with him, and I asked him about the national sales tax, and he kind of skirted my question. I asked him about bringing the troops home. He didn't give me a very straight answer, I realized, even though I like the guy personally. So I had to get over the cold of personality with Gary Johnson. But anyhow, like the night before, I saw a post on Facebook. A friend posted, hey, look, Gary Johnson supports giving your tax dollars to Israel's military to put Palestinian children in concentration camps, which is what's going on there. I want to be clear for the viewers. But I wanted to let you know I really appreciate that one. And tell me what is your opinion on that, and what do you think of you know, his run for the presidency?
I tell you, man, I was gonna make a video critiquing the one-on-one Stein-Johnson debate.
Right. I ended up voting for
watched-
Jill Stein. I forgot to say.
And I watched that debate, and I was like, oh, man, Gary, come on. Because I had made a video, like a preview to it, where I hyped Johnson all up. I was like, you know, Johnson debating Stein? This is like somebody walking up real close to home plate and barely tossing you the ball so you can hit it real easy, you know?
Right.
I mean, Gary couldn't have got one thrown over the plate, you know,
And he
softer,
didn't win?
fatter than that. And he
lost her?
whiffed. And I was like, man, that should have, and I noticed on, you know, online that night, it took a lot of the wind out of the sails of some Johnson supporters. But I never was a Johnson supporter. I said all along it was Ron Paul or none at all. And I meant that. And especially after I saw what they did at the RNC.
Were you there this year?
No.
Oh, okay. Tell us about what happened.
Cheating live on national television. Like, I don't give a fuck if I get caught type cheating. We're doing this, you know, Joan the Silencer and all that.
Oh, right? Like, they did the same thing at the Democrats. They're like, everyone for it. Yes, you hear a muffle. Everyone against. Nay. And then they're like, okay, one more time. And then it got a little closer, but the other side still won. And then they're like, the ayes have it. Even though it was blatantly, obviously, the nays had it.
And only the Democrats would fuck up an opportunity that golden. All they had to do was play their convention square. Think of all the political hay they could have made out of Republican corruption. You know, live on national television.
Oh, yeah. They don't know what they're doing.
You know, and then
not
they
very
turn
good
around and did the same
politicians.
thing. And it's like, that's why you haven't heard anything about the Republicans, you know.
Yeah.
Except from the Ron Paul crowd. We're the only one raising the hue and cry. That and a bunch of Gingrich supporters, too, believe it or not.
Huh. Well, we've covered a lot of ground here. Trying to think of something else to ask you. Is there anything you'd like to share with the viewers that's been on your mind lately?
Well, yeah, one of the things that I was fixing to mention a while ago is another thing that I do on my channel. I do advocate for illegal aliens. Is all. Like I said, I live in a neighborhood filled with them. I think they're the finest people in the world. There's no place I'd rather live. I love these motherfuckers. So, high wall, but a wide gate. I think that's one thing our government could do is, you know, especially if we bring the troops home, we'd have so much money to spend, and in the war on drugs had even more money to spend, is you could streamline the immigration process where it doesn't take somebody 6 months to a year, you know, to get a 30-day pass, you know, unless they want to spend thousands of dollars bribing somebody for a green card. Hey, you ought to make it easy for them to get over here. Our economy's based on them. You know, all you Republicans out there talk about rounding them all up and shipping them home. And you want to pay $10 for a head of lettuce? So you might want to start thinking about the economic ramifications of deporting them in mass numbers. And also, on the other hand, consider what fine people they are. The overwhelming majority of them.
I agree with that. That's very true.
That's that.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
I got into it with Virgil Good's campaign manager on the air behind that.
Oh, what happened?
He's assured, because that's one thing when people start talking about tightening up the border, you know, securing the border, which I do agree with. It's real easy to come off sounding racist. And Virgil Good was all about, you know, no more immigration until American employment improves. And sometimes he beats that drum a little too hard, and I start thinking,
I agree.
Is he another Tom Tancredo, you know?
Oh, jeez.
It's like Tom Tancredo. I think Mexicans must have took his lunch money when he was little or something. I don't know. He's got a complex about him, man.
Yeah, I don't see why they get so angry at certain groups, like whether it's the, GLBT community or illegal immigrants or hippies or what have you, hipsters, freaks, musicians. They just love. Some people love to hate.
It's, you know, especially with the Mexican nationals. It's like they're so worried about the Democrats getting those votes. Well, a bunch of people that go to work every day and go to church on the weekends, and you're worried about the Democrats scooping up those votes. You're playing your cards wrong. You shouldn't be having to worry.
Great. Well, I think we'll wrap it up here. Just have a couple more questions left for you. What's the future for the Republic of Texas TV YouTube channel?
Got a savings account going right now. Fixing to invest in a big shoulder mount professional camera, and making a lot of plans to take it, you know, different directions once I have the equipment. and I'm kind of just gonna haven't really committed to one direction. It's gonna stay politics. I'd like to do other things. There's the Lone Star Libertopia that's kicking
Great.
up.
Great. Tell us about that real briefly.
Oh, it's Texas' answer to New Hampshire's Free State Project, trying to get people to move down to Central Texas and help break the Democrat stranglehold on Travis County. Well, that's what I'd like to see happen personally. But I think with enough liberty-minded people down here, that'll happen. So the Republican Liberty Caucus made great strides in this election. We're strong in this area, though not in Austin itself, because Democrats got it sewed up. But the national chairman lives right up here in Williamson County, and there's a lot happening with that. It's Austin. There's always a lot happening in Austin, period. Eeyore's, Marley Fest.
I love Eeyore's birthday, man. That is one of the best events.
Con Street Music Festival, South by Southwest, ACL Fest, or whatever it is. Hey, get out and mingle with tourists with my big fancy new camera.
You'd be good, man. We could do a tour guide thing together. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
We know a lot about Austin. So
all the pertinent parts.
That's right. Everything that's important. Well,
Every
cool,
place
man.
where there's public consumption, we got it marked on the calendar.
Wow, that's great, man. Anything else you'd like to share with the viewers about your channel or Brave New Books, or anything else, a message you'd like to send to the general
Brave New
populace?
Books. Okay, yeah, I'll plug them. Actually, I've filmed a whole lot of videos of Brave New Books. It's a peculiar little bookstore over on Guadalupe and MLK. There ain't really no place quite like it. Got a little something for everybody at Brave New Books. A lot of cool people hang around too. You can drink beer there too. Can't say that about any other bookstore I know.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much, William Brown, for being with me. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today.
Thank you.